This is a Blue Max original. Did you write it?
I wrote it with a person. It was originally a song by Stuart Lamont, who's a dear friend of mine. I sort of mucked around with it. It used to go but I'm fully unemployed and I got all the time in the day. Yeah, and we mucked around with it, and I think the drummer said we should slow it down, get a bit more reckless. Oh. You know, that James Rain sort of reckless sort of feel to it. So yeah, I ended up. I'm fully unemployed and I got all the time in the day. I'm busy doing nothing and nothing's hard to do. I got no say. Down Fitzroy Street on a Saturday night. Hey mister, you got a cigarette light? Maybe tonight. Ooh, those girls with the look in their eyes, drinking beer like it's a champagne on ice, and dinner for two. Just a boy from your neighborhood, wearing t-shirt and jeans. I'm fully unemployed. $12 every second week, gonna get out of bed, walk down the street, hand in my form. Woke up the counter with my white raw eyes, said look for work, but they know it's all lies, but then I'm gone. If I miss up a day, then I don't get any pay for 6 weeks. And as hard as it is trying to exist out on the street, you don't know if I'm bad or good. Do you know what it means when you're fully unemployed? Now I couldn't stay at school, so my chances of a job were getting slim. So I opened up a door, stepped out into a world I've never been. Well, it's electric, it's alive, getting hard to survive, it ain't easy. Just put a smile on your face, join the human race like it's the 90s. I'm just a boy from your neighborhood, wear t-shirt and jeans, t-shirt and jeans. I'm fully unemployed, fully unemployed, fully unemployed.
How good, fully unemployed. Shout out to all travelling musicians.
Yeah, it's very poignant in these times.
I'm sure they can relate to that.
Yep.
Love it. 28 minutes past 4. You are listening to Live and Local right here on 90.7 Crow FM. My very, very talented musical guest in the studio today is Luke Green.
The last rock dog.
He's I've got to keep the leash on him, folks, if he's the rock dog. Hey, we just heard Fully Unemployed. How long ago would you have written that? That's a good 30
1996.
years. Okay, what's that, 25 years ago?
Yeah.
And still as fresh as it was the day you wrote it.
People still, like it's My Werewolves of London, I think. It's just that's that song that just keeps on coming around.
I knew you were going to get to Zevon at some point. Yes. Mate, let's talk about your musical influences. Besides...
John Lennon was the first. John Lennon, just with my dad's old 45s and stuff, and just...
After the Beatles or during the Beatles?
Close your eyes, and I'll kiss you. Oh, my lovin' and all that sort of stuff. And,
Early Beatles.
Here I stand, hand in hand. Hey, you got to hide your love away. And that sort of stuff.
You definitely do get the Lennon voice, right?
And then complete turn. Doc Neeson and Bon Scott.
Oh, nice.
So when I was about 13, 14. And then when I was 19, Mr. Steve Rogers at 4SB said, have you ever heard of Warren Zevon? And I said, oh, yes, but yeah. And he said, look, I'm going home, I'm getting Excitable Boy album, and you're going to listen to that. That's your job for today. All you got to do is just go into the studio and listen to.
Right. So by this stage, you've already done the final drive. You're in Blue Max. It's around that sort of time.
Blue Max was over. I had to look for a job. My father was a very well-known radio announcer around the parts back in the 60s and 70s, and I think this was just the last sort of hope for me. We'll just get him a job. Get him a job, mate. He rang in a favour to Mark Peters. Get him a job. Just get him anything.
Give the boy a job.
Get him anything. Yeah, so...
And did you like that with your radio stuff?
I did. It was sort of like I always thought... I never pursued it. Like they always, Mark and all them always wanted me to do a on-air spot, but I liked sitting back, writing ads, and I could go to the pub whenever I wanted to, come back, Didn't have a commitment, and I always thought music was always the number one, I started a band when I was at the radio station called the Lubricated Cutlery Project.
Hang on. Where does a name like that come from?
I do not know, but a lot of herbal cigarettes were smoked, I can tell you. The Lubricated Cutlery Project,
And how long did that last?
It lasted until one of my mates spiked us all with LSD at a pub. Had a gig one night. And we were having the time of our lives, me and the bass player. We were just, but the guitarist and the drummer were just like, nah, this is not our scene. But yeah, it was fun.
They were there.
Baby Please Don't Go, we did a medley of Baby Please Don't Go with Black Sabbath's Paranoid. Don't ask me how.
Wow.
But we did it.
Okay, so John Lennon early on.
Yep.
Then it gets a little bit more rocky after that.
Then Doc Neeson, Bon Scott. Paul Rogers gets in there from Free and Bad Company. He gets a good mention. I really got into Free and Bad Company. And then, just Warren came along and...
Changed everything.
Big gorilla at the LA Zoo. Smacked the glasses right off my face. Took the keys to my BMW. He left me here to take his place.
What was it about Warren Zevon that really caught your attention? Because by then you'd been around music for, a few years.
Yeah, it was just, I liked how he didn't, common phrases and stuff in rock and roll he never used. Like, he uses towns like Honduras and... stuff.
Not your New York or California.
Not your Chicago's and New York and Honduras and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it just... There's one song where he's hanging out with this girl and, how you gonna make it in this world today, woman? You weren't cut out for working. Anyway, she ends up being a prostitute and all that. But right at the end of the song... She says, so long, Norman. She said, so long, Norman. He didn't even tell her a name,
Right.
It's just that sort of genius.
Yeah.
She was calling him Norman all that time. He was spending her money on drink and while she was...
Right.
Yeah.
See, what I get about you, Luke, is you do delve deep into the meaning of lyrics. And, I mean, is that what it takes to write a good song, do you think, to have that sort of little bit of an eclectic, taste to a song?
I think You've got to have, like, it's not like, Jack Kerouac, first thought, best thought, like you do. I try to tell people, you write it out, like when it comes out, you should always go back and just sort of revise it a bit, because there might be bits that sometimes you just hit it perfectly, but other times it might just need a bit of a tweak here. And it's just awful when you've recorded something and then down the track, just start singing. Like, even though Fully Unemployed, like, there's lines in it now that I've changed just throughout the time, but yeah, it would have taken just a little bit of thought to just sit back and just not thinking, no, that's what the muse told me to write. It's like, well, you are the muse's boss. Like, just take a bit of time, but there's some great even Bon Scott's. She had a body of Venus with arms. That's real clever.
What about for you, your songwriting? I know you enjoy writing both songs and poetry as well. Yep. Have you always done that, even early on? I mean, without any disrespect to Fully Unemployed, have you written deeper stuff even back in your teenage years?
When I was a teenager, it was mainly sort of AC/DC inspired, sort of Hounds of Hell and sort of things like that, and
Final Drive type stuff.
AC/DC sort of like all about hell and just.
So what changed? Was it getting older, or was there life events that meant you now saw life a bit more seriously?
I think like 2 children to 2 different women within 18 months apart. And
how old were you then?
17 or 18 with the first one, and 19, 20 with the second one, and then that just sort of evaporating, both of them, and history doesn't repeat, but it sure rhymes a lot.
How old are your kids now, if you don't mind me talking about
25 and 24. My youngest, Joshua, has got a band called Chasing Fences, which is about 6 months ago, he said, "How do you write lyrics, Dad?" And I said, well, the main problem people have is they try to fit their whole philosophy into 3 minutes and 30 seconds. Like everything's got to have this big, like I said, most of my stuff means nothing. It's rhyming and it's got a hook and it's
exactly.
And you don't try to give a message. You just don't. And we sat out in me gnome garden. I collect garden gnomes, and we just sat out there and we talked for a while, and then he just started writing these. There's some song when it's like he's got beer bottles floating in the bathtub overflowing, and I think that's
how cool.
And I thought
that's my son.
In about 5 years time, I just can't wait to if you just keep this discipline going. You always got to keep it going. Always learn stuff. Like
what's a song for you that you go, even now thinking back on it, a song that you go, this is the one I'm most proudest of in regards to songwriting?
There was one recently, I liked the line, "The things you said, I said, she said." I just thought that was very clever. I was saying to my mates, and I said, "What? The things you said, I said, she said." No. But I thought, well, that's pretty clever.
You liked it. Yeah. That's all that matters.
I did write a good one, Medicine Man, it was called.
Sounds very Bob Dylan-ish.
Well, I went and saw at the Shed over in the Nango a bloke called Scott Cook. And he blew me away. Like most people at the Shed, they're world-class
aren't they?
Performers.
Shout out to Jane and all the
Jane
Shed
and all the
musos.
crew. This bloke was a star. I just couldn't keep my eyes off it. He was just a star. And at half-time, being the rock and roll dolly I went to my father, "Give me $50, I'm going to buy a CD." So I went up and I said, "Look, I love your stuff, mate." And he said, "You're a musician, aren't you?" And I went, "Yep, I could tell. I can always tell."
How could he tell? Can you tell? Are they the unemployed people?
I don't know, mate. They tend not to look like me. When people sort of hear me and then they look at me, oh, yeah.
Do you belong to that voice?
Head for radio, yeah. But I just said, but Mum was saying he was looking at you. He kept looking over at you and bloody, because you just had to sort of, But I went home and, he was a sort of a very Bob Dylan, Woody Guthrie sort of bloke, I wrote Medicine Man, yeah. Pretty proud of that one. Just going to get me right foot here. There we go.
Before you start, Luke, sorry to jump in, what's it about?
Really about nothing. Like I said to my son, it's just sort of about, well, I don't know. How much you're a medicine man, yeah?
It's not about the Persian rugs or anything like that.
No, well, no. Well, is it? No. We'll let you decide.
When you work it out.
Yeah, we'll let you decide. We'll do a viewers poll.
Take it away,
First
medicine
10
man.
callers will get ignored. Yeah. I am a shaman. I'm a medicine man. What I got you can't bottle, and what I get you can't can. I use my white knuckled voodoo, stir my potion, point my bones. My life's an open book you read out loud when you're all alone. And I conjure, I create, I wear my heart upon my ace-up sleeve. I hold traffic, I've cried havoc, and I let the heathens believe. I sing songs like last words spoken, like a finely tuned epitaph. I let the weary ever cautious, I let the rest uneasy laugh. I bless the sun, the moon, the earth and wind. I bless the sea and stars. My fingers bleed as a one need on this lone 5-string guitar. I talk to angels about my state of being. I deal with the demons too. And we work out an understanding that the rest will misconstrue. I orchestrate epiphanies, leave subtle blues wherever I can. 'Cause it's not my case, hell, it's not my place. Just a medicine man out for a fix, to get my kicks, to work on the unworkable plan, to work on the unworkable plan. Medicine man, ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-ba, ba-da-da-da-da-ba, ba-da-da-da-da-ba-da-da-ba-ba, ba-da-da-da-da-da-ba, ba-da-da-ba, ba-da-da-ba-da. To work on the unworkable plan, to work on the unworkable plan. See me working out the unworkable plan. I'm a medicine man.
Woo! I love it. Working on the unworkable plan. Yeah. What is the unworkable plan?
Wow. It's a long way to the top.
10 to... Get it right, Matt. 10 to 5 Thursday afternoon. It is live and local, folks, right here on 90.7 Crow FM. If you're just joining us, welcome. My guest in the studio this afternoon is Luke Green.
Pleased to be here, Matt.
Are you still well, sir?
I'm well, yes.
Mate, some great tunes so far. If you are just tuning in, folks, we've heard Fully Unemployed, which was...
it was a minor cult sort of thing around the 90s.
Well, you say it had some success.
It did have some success, and still to this day I get mates saying I was at Cash Converters in Townsville or something, and there's a Blue Max Fully Unemployed CD up there for sale, and they grab.
I'll keep a lookout now.
Yeah, just all over.
Is it on vinyl?
It was on. Funny thing, you know, when we made them cassettes, people wanted CDs. When we made them CDs, they wanted cassettes. Mm-hmm. So
and now you can get
it's
online.
on Bandcamp. It's on lukegreen.bandcamp.com.
Got it.
All spelt correctly. If you find there's a Luke Green with a couple of K's or a couple of E's, it's just this last rock dog got there first. You know, like I spell. So I'm the only. When it's spelt correctly, mostly that's me, because I just been doing it since 1996. So I got in before everyone else. You know?
Got it, folks. Feel free. You're more than welcome to phone in with a request for Luke. I'm sure he'll do his utmost to do a fantastic rendition of a song you're chasing. And
I apologise to that poor bloke before. I really can't do a Def Leppard.
Well, John Bon Jeffrey phoned in. He said a bit of Def Leppard or John Bon Jeffrey.
Yeah,
we're going to steer a little bit off.
Well, you said he likes the 80s sort of stuff. So
he likes 80s long hair rock. Right. You're thinking Gunners.
I'm thinking Gunners, Of Lies. Pretty much because it's the only thing I can play. You know? I'm not Richie Zambora. I'm not.
I reckon you'd do a great version of Patience with the whistle and.
Yeah.
It's a very rosy version. But today we've got I Used to Love Her?
I Used to Love Her.
There you go.
And shout out to all the women I impregnated over the years. Happy Mother's Day. I hope you had a good Mother's Day. Yeah.
Take it away, Luke Green.
You were all beautiful angels. Every one of you. I used to love her, but I had to kill her. I used to love her, but I had to kill her. Had to miss her, so I had to keep her. She's buried right in my backyard. I used to love her, but I had to kill her. I used to love her, but I had to kill her. But I had to keep her. She knew I'd miss her, but I can still hear her complain. Used to love her, but I had to kill her. I used to love her, oh yeah, but I had to kill her. She bitched so much, she drove me nuts, and now I'm happier this way.
I used to love her, but I had to kill her. Just your average love song, folks. 12 minutes past 5, Thursday afternoon. You know what that means, folks. It's live and local time. In fact, we're into the second half of our live and local set with Nanango musician Luke Green. How are you, mate?
Pleased to be here, mate. Yep. You're listening to... I was just with Nude saying it's all new and all that sort of stuff. I was listening to a rival radio station, and the greatest hits from the 50s, 60s, 70s and 80s used to be when I last listened to it. All they've done now is the greatest hits from the 60s, 70s, 80s and 90s. New oldies. New oldies.
They've progressed. They've moved with the times. Mate, I know you're keen to strum, but I want to talk about your poetry.
Poetry, yes.
We alluded to it in the last hour.
Yep.
How is writing a poem... How does it differ from songwriting, if at all?
Well, most of my poetry is free verse, which means doesn't rhyme for people. No stanzas, no sort of. It's just more of your beatnik sort of Ginsberg type of sort of writing, conscious writing. I think it's just you just let it go, don't look back, sort of thing. Jack Kerouac, first thought, best thought, sort of stuff, and you just.
Is that in a sense freeing, and whatever freeing means to you, that's fine. But is there a bit of a sense of meditation in writing like that?
There is because you don't have set verses. You don't have to go to a melody. But
some people might get a massage. They might walk on the beach. They might exercise, do yoga, all of that. Is writing that for you?
Yeah, it is. I've got on my wall actually. It's some quote: "A poet must write poems. An artist must paint. A musician must play music. If he is to be ultimately at peace with himself." So I just have that sort of sitting there.
I'm reluctant to ask this question, but I'm going to anyway. Are you at peace, Luke Green?
Oh, in pieces. I'm more in pieces than at peace.
I don't mean to laugh out of disrespect, but...
more in pieces, yeah. No, but it is freeing. It is freeing. And I still remember back in the days before, live feeds and all that sort of stuff with the first book, I was wandering around Nanango, just about 2 o'clock in the morning, and just... these lines came into my head, butchered transcripts of yesteryear tell a not of true righteousness, sealed with sin and bound by dead infants' foreskins,
That just came to you when you were walking the mango at 2 a.m.
I just knew this was just, if I let this go, it would just keep going, And I just knew I had to keep, so I just wandered around with that first bit until the news agency opened. And I could run in, and I had probably $2.20 on me, and I bought a little exercise book and a cheap pen, and I went down to Pioneer Park, and I went right now, and I just wrote like 80, those full 80 pages just went.
You filled that whole book.
Yeah, but if I knew if I kept that rant going, I wouldn't be able to get back to. So I knew that was the start,
Right.
So I just had to keep just going. Put your transcripts of yesteryear, put your
Where do you think that came from? Was there any sort of
don't know,
experience you had that would,
I have a Catholic upbringing, and if you really look at that, that's the Bible. Butchered transcripts of yesteryear, tell a not of true righteousness, bound by dead infants' foreskins, circumcision,
but to write 80 odd pages of similar transcript. I mean, is there a sense that you get worried that your mind can go to those places?
No, I don't. I don't get worried at all.
Yeah.
It would seem I feel I'm more a vessel. It's not really. It's I'm the person that makes the pen go, and I'm just a vessel that something's come in. Like I laugh sometimes. I look at some of the poetry and there's a word there and I have no idea what that word is, you know. And I don't even know if it is a word.
It's very Roald Dahl of you.
And I look it up and it certainly is a word.
Oh, it is.
And it fits right in with what I'm going on about. So,
Even though consciously you didn't know what the word was?
yeah, I would have somewhere along the line read it, but it's just stuck in the back and it's just come out and fits perfectly what I was trying to say. And
How long ago is this that you wrote that?
2010, I wrote my first one, Junk Mail, M-A-L-E. And then I had a dictionary, and then the user's manual, which I called the Pinned series.
Right. Now, of those, have you done anything with them? Have they gone anywhere?
You know, they've been transcribed into Japanese and stuff like that overseas and that. And,
They have? So
yeah.
a Japanese publisher has picked it up?
Picked it up and... Yeah, in this world, you don't make much money on anything with intellectual property. Like, yeah, that's another rattle altogether.
Can you now read that back, that 80 pages you did in Nanango that day, and go, I like this. I like what I wrote.
Yeah, it ended up the first major part of Junk Mail. That whole, it was majorly that book and just bits of beer coasters I had shoved in jeans, and when I'm washing them a year later, when it's come around to the next winter and I decide to wash my jeans,
there it is.
Pull out all these beer coasters and I've even numbered them 1, 2, and sometimes I go, no, actually that suits that.
Wow.
Yeah, but that was majorly, Judas Iscariot. It was the ghost of Judas Iscariot.
Do you write songs around that time as well when you?
Yeah. Try. Well, it's just like you just got to strike when the iron's hot. A lot of my musician friends, it's just like you put too much out. You should got to release an album then promote it. And I said, well, I can't help just wanting to write more songs, and
it's inside you.
It's just, and I want to get them out there because, might get hit by a bus tomorrow. You don't know.
We were talking off air about the October tapes.
The October tapes. Was pretty much, Nice segue.
You like that?
October tapes, yes. A couple of years ago, 2016, 17. One of my dear friends, a musician, Steve Skinner, he was probably the last of the original bluesmen of Brisbane. He passed away and he was halfway through an album. And I rang up my good friend of Phantom Studios in the Nango.
Tony Cisneros.
A
good friend to the Live and Local show.
And I said to Cisneros, I need to just get over there. I've got all these bank of songs in my head and I'd hate to just die in my sleep tonight. And
die with the music in you.
In me. So he got me round either that night or the following night. And I just sat with my acoustic guitar and...
How many songs did you have up your sleeve?
I think I put about 16 on there at that point. Like, there was still a heap. I had a bank of them, but there was about 16 that I thought I really should get these down somewhere because... Yeah.
Now, there's one song on those October tapes called This Time Tomorrow.
Yeah, it was the first song I actually wrote when I was about 19 years old.
This is the very first song you wrote, This Time Tomorrow.
My bass player, Mr. David White, Deboo, we call him. Well, I call him Deboo, he calls me Laboo. We had a very tribal time in the bush one night. And he was Deboo and I was Laboo. Anyway, he showed me 3 chords one day when I was sitting around bored. And I wrote This Time Tomorrow. And
what's it about? About that tribal night in the forest?
Some days it's very, very teenage. Well, I was 19, so I was a very teenaged, angst, grungy, sort of, that silver cherry.
Me against the world.
Stone to a pilot sort of thing, Yeah, the angst.
Can we hear a bit of This Time Tomorrow?
We can. I hope hope I can remember. Some days it feels like I have no meaning to this world at all. On these days I like to sit by myself and pray the sun to fall. Could you come again this time tomorrow? Put the grunge thing. Could you come again
Eddie Vedder,
this
ladies
time
and
tomorrow? Sometimes I stand in front of a mirror and slowly stare myself down. What's the point in trying? My thin soul's replying. Someday I might find a way. Could you come again this time tomorrow? Could you come again this time tomorrow?
Who are you asking to come again tomorrow? Can you remember back? 19?
Probably was my second de facto wife, you know, like...
And why did you want her to come back tomorrow?
well, I didn't want to see her today, yeah.
It's just about to tick over 5:30 Thursday afternoon. It is live and local right here on 90.7 Crow FM. And my musical guest in the studio this afternoon. Why are you laughing?
Oh, because I keep going in like this, like it's the ABC, you know?
We're having a fun afternoon with Nanango muso Luke Green. And now he pulled out a bit of Eddie Vedder. You got down nice and low for the... Let's talk about grunge music. It came out in the early to mid-90s, and now you're telling me that was a bit of a godsend for you.
As a singer, it was like you had the Skid Rows and the Guns N' Roses.
Poison.
And you're up, welcome to the jungle! Yeah. And all this sort of stuff. And even today, there are some musicians that they merit and meter how good a singer you are by how high
you can get. Yeah.
You know, and it's just ridiculous.
So all of a sudden, Kurt Cobain, Eddie
son, she said, have I got a little story for you? What you thought was in my life? Yeah. And they put that sort of Marble's Godfather thing on because when you've only got cheap amps and stuff, it really is easy to hear.
Uh-huh.
You know, when you're down here sort of doing it without that, you know. But it's easy to hear. Son, she said, have I got a little story for you? But it was such a godsend. It was a godsend because you didn't have to, like Tim Brooke Taylor, put the zip up. Excuse me, would you like to dance? Welcome to the jungle.
It suited your voice.
It did.
That grunge.
It did. Uh-huh. And, it was good as a front man to sing those great songs. And
I think what I noticed too, Nirvana was a good example of it. These guys weren't your fully professionally trained musicians.
No.
They'd been playing for a couple of years, just they picked it up by themselves.
Yep.
And it just worked. It gave every 13, 14-year-old kid,
Yep.
that played in his garage, it gave him a chance that I could make it.
That's it. That is pretty much it. It's just anyone, and I've got a good mate, he calls himself Bunyanut Ernie on Facebook. He says if you play more than 2 chords, you're showing off.
I like how he thinks.
I play with 5 strings, actually. It's a thing Keith Richards said. You got 5 strings, 4 fingers, 3 chords, 1 L.
And he did all right as a guitarist, Keith
right.
Richards.
So he played with 5 strings, so I just thought,
He'll be around long before you and I.
And I noticed with 5, like if you're doing a D, like people that play a D, like that 3rd finger with the D, that now is gone, so you can put it up there. See,
You've always done that? Only played with 5 strings?
Yeah.
You've always done that?
Yep.
And it works.
Yep, just for something, an interview with Keith Richards, I think.
Yeah,
I think it was the same interview that he said that after his dad died, he snorted his ashes, and then he had to retract. And we went, we know you did, Keithy, because I had the same inkling, when I was thinking about my father's passing,
Mate, we're going to get another tune out of you.
Yep.
And in that sort of 90s era, Green Day come about. A little bit higher than Eddie Vedder.
Yeah.
Not much.
I have people, one of my mates reckon they're punk, and I said they are punk. Now, here, just a little lesson, people. Punk is not a genre. Punk is an attitude. It's not a genre of music. It's an attitude. Like Lou Reed is punk. Like
Iggy Pop.
Iggy Pop is punk. It's not a
Luke
genre.
Green.
Well, maybe on some of me songs.
What do we got? Green Day? What
Green
are we playing?
Day, Basket Case. I sort of slow it down a bit. Just don't know why, because I like it that way.
Basket Case.
Do you have the time to listen to me whine about nothing and everything all at once? I am one of those melodramatic fools, neurotic to the bone, no doubt about it. Sometimes I give myself the creeps. Sometimes my mind plays tricks on me. It all keeps adding up. I think I'm going nuts. Am I just paranoid? Blah, blah, blah. I went to a shrink to analyze my dreams. She said it's lack of sex that's bringing me down. So I went to a whore. She said my life's a bore, and can you quit your whinging, 'cause it's bringing me down. Sometimes I give myself the creeps. Sometimes my mind plays tricks on me. It all keeps adding up. I think I'm cracking up. Am I just paranoid? Blah, blah, blah. Rush into control, so I better hold on. Sometimes I give myself the creeps. Sometimes my mind plays tricks on me. It all keeps adding up. I think I'm cracking up. Am I just paranoid or am I stoned? Am I just paranoid? Blah, blah, blah. See, I think that's very clever. He's always blah, blah, blah. But in the last line, am I stoned? You know? But then he gets paranoid again. Blah, 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 blah.
I always thought, I didn't realise that's the line, blah, blah, blah. I thought it was actually something, but I didn't know.
Blah, blah, blah.
That's what it is.
Because he's paranoid about saying he's shit-faced. Yeah.
Yeah.
Whoops.
Blah,
That is
blah,
stoned.
blah, blah.
Yeah, blah, blah, blah. Ba-ba-da-ba-da-ba. Yeah.
17 minutes to 6. We haven't got him for much longer, folks, but I tell you what, we've been having some fun. It's Nanango Muso Luke Green in the studio. Mate, I mean this with complete respect. You are certainly a unique character.
Yep.
You got some remarkable tats.
Yep.
And your guitar has more ink than you,
Yes.
or more artwork anyway. Tell us about
one
some
of
of
the
these
main
stickers.
reasons is it's very hard to pawn a guitar with looking like this.
Is that one of the main
That's
reasons?
one of the main reasons I can't pawn it, you know, for a spoonful of sugar. Yeah, yeah. So but I get given this from people all over the place. I like this actually. This was actually, see how the L has
L and
that
the
was
U?
lukegreen.bandcamp.com. Somewhere along the line, my sweat has made the L droop over.
Right.
So I think that's quite funny, because it was one sticker. So I don't know how that.
What about the New York sticker that's on your guitar?
New
What's-
York sticker that was given someone, someone anonymous.
Yeah, okay. We won't delve into that.
Zevon forever.
What is the price?
This one was funny. This was at the markets.
Inspector Gadget sticker.
Gadget. In one of my poems, I think it's in a dictionary, the second poetry book. I say my last lines in that book is "Bury me to the Inspector Gadget theme song." Yeah.
Dun, dun, dun,
I think
dun.
that'd be funny. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. Go, Gadget, go! I'd love just having people just go, oh, look, that Luke, he couldn't even take his death seriously. Yeah?
Is that you? You don't take life too seriously?
Well, you know, to quote the last prophet, or the false prophet as he calls himself now, Mr. Zimmerman, you don't remember being born and you forget when you die. Yeah? That's and Ricky Gervais, I didn't remember the first 3.5 billion years, I didn't miss that much, so when I'm gone, I won't really miss that much either. Yeah?
That's right.
Yeah, so, yeah, gotta have a laugh.
Mate, we haven't got much time left. We might try to get maybe one or two more songs. Is there an original of yours that you'd like to share with our listeners? Is there one that I know you've got so many songs in the back.
I
catalogue.
have got a song that was #1 around the world online. So I think I made about $3.80.
What does that mean? #1 around the world.
It was just on all the charts on Reverb Nations and your #1 musics, and it was the #1 song around the world in the rock genre. Yeah.
How long ago is that?
Everybody streams, so I made about $1.80. Actually, I think I owe about $10. Boom, boom.
How long ago are we talking?
2014, 2015. But everybody from 6 to 60, it's my father's favourite. My father loves it. It's his favourite one of mine. Again, it's about nothing, really.
What's it called?
Don't Mind Baby.
Don't Mind Baby. I think you may have performed this at one of the
At the
events
RSL.
we've
Yeah, I
done
did play that at
before.
RSL
Yeah.
a while back, yeah. But, yeah, people from 6 to 60.
Before you start, what's it about?
Nothing.
A lot of your songs are about nothing, Luke.
Well, it's just... make them rhyme,
Don't mind,
Catchy
baby.
melody.
Is it about a relationship?
It was. It was about a girl that I was seeing for about 6 or 7 months that grabbed my heart out of my chest and stomped it on the ground, you know. But I just, don't mind, baby.
I'm glad you've gotten over it.
Don't mind, baby. Don't think twice. It's all right, you know.
All right, take it away, Luke Green. Don't mind, baby.
Do what you wanna do. Be what you wanna be. Don't mind, baby, if that don't include me. Just do who you wanna do. See who you wanna see. Don't mind, baby, if you don't want a piece of me. 'Cause I'm older than my days. I get work but don't get much paid. I've got one foot in the grave and dirt's in my shoes. Dirt's in my shoes. Drink what you wanna drink. Eat what you wanna eat. Don't mind, baby, if you don't like to lick my feet. Just smoke what you wanna smoke. Blow what you wanna blow. Don't mind, baby, I don't even wanna know. 'Cause I'm older than my days. I get work but don't get much paid. I've got a 1 foot in the grave. Dirt in my shoe. Dirt in my shoe. Yes, I'm older than my days. I get work but don't get much paid. I've got 1 foot in the grave. Dirt's in my shoes. My sneaking.
My what? My
Sneaking.
sneaking.
Like sneakers, yeah?
Oh, my sneaking. I love it. Don't mind, baby. Mate, 10 minutes to 6. Now, it'd be remiss of me not to ask, how can people find out more about Luke Green?
lukegreen.bandcamp.com.
That's where it's
exclusively. And on YouTube. Yeah, I'm on YouTube around the place.
at. What is Bandcamp?
Bandcamp is a place where you can put your music on for free. If people buy it, you get about 92% of the profit. They just take a cut. Mm-hmm. You don't have to pay monthly to be on there. You can put as much as you want. It's free.
Right. And would, a lot of artists, because we get artists in every week. I've never heard them talk about
a lot of artists, if you, like overseas, they really do tell, if you talk to them, they really say you should
That's
get
where
a
it's
band,
at.
you've got to get a Bandcamp thing. And
Yeah, right.
because it's the only one that really is, Spotify. The nerds with the algorithms are making more money than Paul McCartney.
They take the dollars.
A bloke that wouldn't know the right way to hold a drumstick is making more money than the person who made the music. Yeah.
Wow.
And with Spotify, you've got to pay to be. It's like it's your concert, but you've got to pay to get in. Mm. You got to pay for the drinks.
So why?
Got to pay for the CD if you like it. Yeah.
that you
performed,
made, produced.
Yeah, but,
so why isn't Bandcamp taking over Spotify?
I don't know,
that?
and I think it's a lot to do with that American Pie movie. I think a lot of people have they don't want it in crevices.
It happened at Bandcamp.
They don't want their flute in crevices.
Yeah. Okay. Change the name though, right? I mean,
that's it. Bandcamp. This one time at Bandcamp, I think it's a lot to do with that. They
that
just
one
don't
line.
want that flute in certain parts of their body parts.
I see.
Yeah, but I don't understand. You pay to be on all these other sites every month. You're paying to be on there.
You've got to pay a monthly subscription to be
gotta
on
pay
Spotify.
you got to pay a monthly thing to be on Spotify and Reverb Nation and all. You know,
All of
Bandcamp you don't. All they do is take 8% of whatever you
When someone buys something.
when you buy something.
And can the person buying the music, do they choose how much they pay? Is
Yeah,
that how it works?
yeah.
Or-
There's a thing where they can. I had someone pay $70 for fully unemployed a while back. That was a nice little thing around Christmas. I
Yeah.
went $70. Yeah, but
Merry Christmas.
yeah, they can pay as much as they want for and you can set a limit to how many songs they can play before a little reminder comes on. Hey, you obviously like this song.
Yeah.
You know, how about you just dish out $1.80
Pay
and
a
buy
few
the
bucks.
song? Yeah.
Look after the
Yeah,
artist.
and, you know.
Uh-huh.
So.
So Luke Green band
.bandcamp.com.
.bandcamp.com.
All spelt correctly. There's no double K's or double E's. Or
Luke
if you
Green.
find Luke Green, I never realised how many Luke Greens are musicians out there.
Is
around
that
the world.
right?
Yeah, thousands of them.
Wow.
But they all have to spell their name weirdly, or 2 L's at the start, or
Uh-huh.
because I got on there at 1996. You know, I'm the last rock dog, or the
So-
first one.
Do you Google yourself regularly, Luke Green?
I try to not to, but it's very interesting. There's a Luke Green hockey player
Uh-huh.
over in America at the moment, or Canada or whatever, and every now and again there's a picture of me and his when you Google images of the hockey player Luke Green, there's
You
Luke,
sneak in there?
There's Luke Green, passed out at the commercial hotel. Yeah? And
After a game of hockey.
after a game of hockey, yeah. got as much teeth as that bloke.
Fantastic, mate. It's been great having you in the studio today.
Cool.
I certainly appreciate you coming in for a couple of hours.
Look, Uncle Warren would not let me get away without doing a Warren.
Well, I'm not going to let you go either before some Warren Zevon.
Yes. Okay.
What do you got for us?
This is a song called Mr. Bad Example. And that will take us right to the news, I reckon.
Mr. Bad Example. A good place to finish. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for listening to Live and Local. This is Luke Green to finish us off with Mr. Bad Example.
Oh, I started as an altar boy, working at the church, learning all the holy moves, doing some research, which led me to the cash box labeled Children's Fund. I'd leave the coins and I'd drop those notes inside my cummerbund. Very well acquainted with those 7 deadly sins. I keep a busy schedule, trying to fit them in. I'm proud to be a glutton, and I don't have time for sloth. I'm angry and I'm pissed off, and I don't care who I cross. I'm Mr. Bad Example, intruder in the dirt. I like to have a good time, and I don't care who gets hurt. I'm Mr. Bad Example. Take a look at me. I'll live to be 100 and go down in infamy. Of course I went to law school. I took a law degree. Counseled all my clients. Man, you gotta plead insanity. Then on to hair replacement. I was swindling the bald. Where very few are chosen and fewer still get called. Then on to Monte Carlo to play Shamanda Fair. I blew away the fortunes I made transplanting hair. I put my last few francs down, well, on a prostitute who took me up to her place to perform the flag salute. Whereupon I stole her passport and her wig and headed for the airport. It was a midnight flight, you dig. Yeah, 14 hours later I was down in Adelaide, looking through the want ads, drinking cold beer in the shade. I'm Mr. Bad Example, intruder in the dirt. I like to have a good time and I don't care who gets hurt. I'm Mr. Bad Example, you gotta take a look at me. I live to be 100 and I go down in infamy. I'm gonna live to be 100, and I'll go down in infamy.
Luke Green, ladies and gentlemen, he does live to 100 because he will definitely go down in infamy. Thanks, Luke.
Thank you, Matt, and it was a pleasure to be here.